Paul, one of the questions that I've been asking churches in our Toward Vitality research has been about the relationship between the church and the community. And we find that healthy, vibrant, vital churches are known by the people in the community. And they have a good reputation of, this is a church that prays. This is a church where you can go to be fed. This is a church where you can get shoes for your children. These kind of positive reputations within a community are what this chapter about legend is all about. Creating.
And then there's also the legend, this is the church where I've never seen a living human being walk in and out the doors.
Yeah.
Because that only happens between 11 and 12 on Sunday,
Sundays.
and I'm not around here then.
Yeah, yeah. So legends and what I call reputations can be positive and negative.
They can be.
And one really good step to take when you're trying to discern where a church should go might be to find out what the reputation is within the community. People who are outside of the church, what do they think about the church?
If anything.
If anything,
Because in some
yeah.
cases, the church
Yeah.
has simply become so internal, so private, that it's
Mhm.
just utterly invisible.
Yeah.
I don't know how many churches I've worked with where when we began to ask that, people said, oh, there's a church over there? And some of these were really big churches.
Yeah.
With towers.
Well, and you know how it is in your own neighborhood. You walk past things you don't even see anymore because you're so used to them.
And for some reason, for many Americans, church is just something that is like white noise. It's just it's not something of interest or relevance to my life. So I just sort of.
So where in your research have you, or in your coaching, have you experienced helping a church to discover its legend?
Well, sometimes we do survey work, and as a part of the survey, we're asking what's going on in their lives, what are some of the needs and possibilities in the community, what, especially in the lives of their friends and neighbors. But we also sometimes will sneak into there. What do you know about Trinity United Methodist Church? What is that church known for? And there could be any number of things, but sometimes the church is positively surprised. But they simply do not, they have one understanding. They believe that there was a church that I worked with the other day. They believed that they were known for their worship. But most of the people outside that church had never been to their worship. And what they were known for was something a little different. Actually, when I was done with the meeting, there was a bar across the street that had $2 taco night. And so I left the church meeting and just left my car in the parking lot and walked to taco night and began to eat tacos. It was Monday Night Football. The person next to me was working on his iPhone, and I was trying to help him with that. And pretty soon, his friends came around, and we began to chat, and they asked, where are you from? And I said, I work with churches, and I'm working with the church across the street. And they said, first of all, they said, what church across the street? And then I went to the window and I pointed, I said, that church. They go, oh, that's the church where there's always something going on. There's always an event going on there. There's always cars in the parking lot. It's just like a 7-day-a-week thing.
Yeah.
These were just people in the town.
Sure.
None of them have ever been in that church, but it had a reputation.
Yeah.
That church that's important information.
Exactly. Because if you know your reputation, if you know what other people expect, then you know if you have to do something bold to change it.
Or to build on
it. Or to build on it.
Yeah. I believe that every church wants to be intentional to create a legend around something that is connected to the heart and the values of that community.
Of the community.
Because that community has some instincts about what's important and what's holy that whatever else we're about as a church, if we may be about great sacred music that community doesn't quite understand.
Right.
But whatever it is that community is about and has passion about, if we can be a part of that. You know, my church in D.C., one of our big deals has been to eliminate chronic homelessness in the city of Washington. Well, I mean, how can one church do that?
Right.
We've led, though, in an alliance that has helped to probably cut by half the
Wow.
number of people that sleep on the streets in Washington, largely by creating transitional housing.
Yeah.
But we also know that among the constituents, but among our church members, but also the constituents that from which we draw, that there is a tremendous compassion and an urgency about doing something about that situation.
Right.
And so to be the church known for doing something about that is a good thing.
Yes.